All right. So we have a Sterling Keykeeper, a Frontier Seeker, and an Omen Port Vigilante against a Hard Bristle Bandit and a Desperate Blood Seeker on the board.
Plotted
And a plotted Rictus Robber
there.
Yeah.
Let's see if he's got some. He's got the Lawbringer in hand that can potentially bring it online there.
Yeah.
It's like Matt's just going to take the 2 there. I assume Jesse's maybe just sacking.
Swing 2, gain 2. Interesting, yeah.
Is he just sacking the Bloodseeker to the
I'm assuming so. I don't think he would sack the Hard Bristle Bandit here, but he may just be slow rolling this. There's not a super high priority target. You know, the Omerport Vigilante can get out of control, but it's not there yet. And he may just run out his Raven of Fell Omens.
It actually does look like he has plenty of lands in hand and all of his colors online, so
Yeah.
it wouldn't be crazy to sack the Bandit here, I think.
And is he going for the no sack plan? No, he is sacking his Desperate Bloodseeker for the Omerport Vigilante.
That's just sort of forcing a trade there.
Yeah, exactly.
But, you also get to play the Rictus Robber here as a follow-up.
So. Yeah, exactly. The Rictus Robber being able to sort of support that sacrifice is very nice. Mm-hmm. It's basically he's just losing lifelink on his creature, and he gets to remove a sometimes double striker, which, like we said, can get out of hand. So
exactly, yeah.
Some dispute about life totals.
Sounds like we might have the incorrect ones up here. So
yeah.
Let
me go check in on what the life totals actually are.
We got it. Okay. Can see Roman peeking in from the side there every now and then.
This is one of my favorite things that happens in team draft when 2 of the matches are done and sort of like everyone is assisting the pilot.
We play a little 3-headed giant.
Yeah, exactly. Really interesting sort of unique quirk to this format, I would say.
Oh yeah, we were gonna say, just for anyone curious, so the games are obviously played 1-on-1, but you are totally allowed to discuss play decisions with your teammates, within reason, time-wise. You
don't want to be stalling games and taking forever, but during every portion other than the draft, obviously you have to draft alone.
Yes, of course.
It would be too easy to be to pass things.
Well, so they're so drafting as a team is a thing as well, right? Or is it like I want to say they used to have it on the Pro Tours. They used to have team drafts like Winston style, I think.
Oh, Winston style team drafts would work, yeah.
Where often people like Ben Stark would be on a team, and their team would just let Ben draft all 3 of their decks, essentially.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
The sort of trying to think of another the Michael Jordan of drafting,
exactly.
Drafting for everyone.
Yeah.
I've thought about that too sometimes because thinking about different teams, you all have strengths and weaknesses, so. If maybe some of you are better at drafting and some of you are better at playing, maybe you switch decks halfway through to sort of balance out your. And there's, it would be unusual to trade decks and sideboards with your partner, but there's nothing kind of against it, in that you're just playing together. Roman.
He needs to back up.
Roman. It's got an autofocus on.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so Jesse resolves Binding Negotiation and sees Kellen the Kid, Stop Cold, Wrangler of the Damned, and Omenport Vigilante.
Okay.
Definitely eyeing the 3/3 flying lifelinker here.
Yeah. Kellen the Kid being quite powerful. Is that Kellen?
Yeah.
Wait.
On the left there, Kellen.
Yeah, it is Kellen.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird to see him without an adventure.
Yeah. My theory, well, I've heard people saying that lore-wise, it's because his adventure is over. He found his father.
Oh my gosh.
My theory is that they didn't want adventure and plot in the same set.
Oh, that actually makes a lot of sense. There's always flavor reasons why, but I would say that makes more sense, right?
Thank you.
Though they didn't seem to have a problem with having only one card with adventure in the last two sets.
I kind of like that, honestly.
It's good for flavor for sure.
And adventure's a fun and popular mechanic. So.
Yeah, and I'm one of the very few people who just follows the lore of Magic. I think it's really interesting. Definitely, probably stronger during blocks than it is now.
Yeah.
But it's still interesting stuff that they're doing. I always like those characters popping up and.
Yeah, the event sets, the War of the Spark and the Moms from the last 5 years or so, those have both been a lot of fun. I think, so.
Getting to see who teamed up with the Gitrog monster. Is it Thassa?
Thalia.
Thalia. Yeah, Thassa teaming up with the Gitrog monster would be a very different sort of god with monster. So it looks like there's sort of not a clear objective here for either player.
So remind me, Jesse's got this, I believe, Insatiable Avarice in hand.
Insatiable Avarice. So it is. It's one of those modal spells. Black, just one black, I believe, is the main. But you can play 2 more black to search up for a card and put it on top of your library. Mm-hmm. And then you can also pay, I think it's 2, maybe 3.
I want to say 3.
I think it's 3 in order to draw 3 cards and lose 3 life. So essentially, it is a tutor that draws you 2 extra cards if you pay its full mode. So it is a quite powerful spell, but again, it's one of those. It's one of those spells that you don't see very often. Just 2.
No, just 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think I got those mana values swapped. Search your library for a card, then shuffle, put the card on top, and then black, draw 3 cards, lose 3 life. So black.
And it looks like we're resolving it right now. So let's see what he gets.
Yeah, Insatiable Avarice.
He's playing it right now.
Resolving it as we speak.
Looks like he's got, Buried in the Garden, Kirvek, Cactarantula. These would all be good targets, I think. Another Lawbringer would be just fine.
Another Lawbringer would be fine. Yeah, it's quite nice.
So it looks like
Jesse... The Chrono Trigger theme song being played in the background.
Looks like Jesse might have attacked with this Rictus Robber. Did I miss that damage?
I think he did attack with the Rictus Robber, I believe. But I'm having trouble following sometimes.
Assuming Matt just took it there.
And I assume that he decided to target himself for the draw 3. That's it. Not always incorrect, you can, especially with the Raven on the board. They draw 3 cards, lose 3 life, and you also get drained for 1.
Drain 1, yeah.
But definitely at this position, he wants the cards.
Ooh, what did he search up there? I missed it.
He didn't have to reveal it because it's any card. So
Lawbringer, probably.
I think it was probably the Lawbringer. I don't think that he had that in his hand before.
Yeah.
Jesse 16, Matt 11.
Okay.
Oh, did I miss a Raven trigger, I guess?
A Raven trigger, yeah. Yeah, must have been a Raven trigger.
16 on Jesse.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're pumping the Shepherd, getting in with 5
that
here.
Vigilance flying. Shepherd proving to be a very strong pack one pick one for Matt there.
Kellen is,
Kellen is on the board.
That
lifelink is going to maybe hold his...
yeah, I don't think Matt can expect...
No, to keep it after the Insatiable Avarice being run out. Basically, he can expect to lose everything that he has.
Looks like it's just going to be one of the flyers. Probably Kellen, I would assume.
I would assume Kellen, because I think right now Jesse's game plan is getting the damage in. And if he gets rid of Kellen, removing the lifelink flyer, he gets a pump on the Bloodseeker and an extra drain on the Raven. So...
It's like,
looks like that's what he is
discussing it with the team here and concurring.
Yeah, that the lifelink is the way to go. That Bloodseeker just has the 1 counter though. But yeah, it does look like a sort of like classic board state for this position where Jesse is trying to crime drain with Ravens and Bloodseekers the last of his life, while Matt is trying to just swing in with his first strikers, swing in with his flying vigilance creatures, and hopefully close it out that way. Jesse doing an excellent job of holding him back. That Bloodseeker and Raven combo will, I suspect, prove very problematic for Matt.
Yeah, I kind of like the attack with the robber here, because it's not unreasonable to think that he just wants to sit back and work on these drains from this position. But knowing that the Arynx is likely to attack with first strike makes it that much more risky to block.
Arynx is so much stronger offensively than defensively. Pressuring him to block with that, I think, is...
And so, attacking with the Rictus Robber here is essentially the same as blocking with it in this scenario, because he's sure that Matt is pretty priced into to blocking here.
Yeah, because he can't be taking 4 damage. That would set him into 6, which is rough here.
Another double spell from Matt, and he still has the Stop Cold in hand.
Stop Cold in hand,
which
is
not over.
Very nice. Yeah. It's interesting. That Stop Cold coming down may be a couple of good targets here. I don't know. No flyers, notably. So stopping cold the Raven early may be a good idea for him if he can have the mana up. Just because to stopping those drains and allowing him to swing with his vigilance, he's got sort of the ground under control right now.
I think, probably stopping the Blood Hustler might be.
Yeah, the Blood
more
Hustler
desirable.
obviously has a powerful sort of activated ability that combos well with the Raven.
Well, we know that Jesse didn't have I don't know what he drew for his turn, but the other card was a land, we know. So maybe Matt sort of can come to a similar conclusion and know that, at best they don't have many other ways to commit crimes. And so the Blood Hustler just being a free version of that on this board state.
Right, because essentially that Blood Hustler is a 3/3 right now, and the life totals are looking quite different if he activates that ability. Wow, he's swinging hot in here. Or maybe he decides against it.
Swinging with that Raven especially.
I feel like swinging with that Raven is a mistake. We don't know what he has in hand, obviously.
But also the Lawbringer gets blocked by the Bedrock Sentinel.
So that is a double trigger there. So Blood Hustler activates drain. Raven activates drain. So it'll be 9-8, flipping the life total race here just a little bit in Jesse's favor.
It looks like he's maybe doing that. Oh yeah, he just wants to activate Hustler twice on this turn cycle, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would assume that Matt will want to stop the Hustler cold here.
Yeah, that Hustler is definitely that repeated crime. So it's. I think that is what's going to happen, right? And he'll get one more activation in response.
He's just going to force the mana to get spent here before going to attacks.
Right.
This all makes sense.
Yeah, I believe so. And then he actually has pretty good attacks with his Omenport Vigilante as well, which will have
double strike.
Double strike for the turn. Potentially forcing a block that Jesse does not want, losing his Ruthless Lawbringer or his 1/1, which at this point is mostly a blocker. But
so yeah, Blood Hustler definitely did its job though.
Yes,
and really swung these life totals around, and
very powerful.
Probably, the Shepherd was going to be a 2-turn clock, and now it's back up to 3.
That's
so
right.
That's pretty huge.
What do you think about not pumping the Shepherd with the Mercenary here, or not pumping anything with the Mercenary here?
No, it looks like he is. He's pumping
it does
the
look like
Vigilante.
Pump the Vigilante. He's just putting a lot of pressure on Jesse here with these attacks. He has to block that Omen Port Vigilante, basically, right?
Yeah, I think so. This is only 10 technically.
Representing 10 damage. So he could go to 1. It's a dangerous life total to go to with all of the sort of deserts in this format, but
also you want to. That would put the Shepherd back down to a 2-turn clock instead of a 3. So.
I would support a block here with that Hard Bristle Bandit. I think that's his lowest priority target. I don't know what he has in his hand. Do we know that Jesse only has a land in hand?
I think that's a pretty safe assumption.
Yeah.
And Matt does have the Bedrock Sentinel, though he doesn't have, an abundance of lands, so it's not like
he's
happy to give
eager
them
to
up,
be sacrificing them for treasures.
Taking 5, going to 6.
Taking 5. We did block with his Ruthless Lawbringer, interestingly enough.
So he values the Raven.
Now, did he take 5 or 4?
Oh, yeah, I believe it's 4 because the Vigilante
he pumped
was
the Vigilante,
pumped.
yeah. Which is actually what I was going to say, is that if he pumps the Shepherd instead of the Vigilante, he still has to block with something for the Vigilante.
Yeah.
But he gets in for 1 more damage, which him being at 6 here would have been...
That is interesting,
Would have been, every life point counts here.
Making the Vigilante into a 3/2 double strike doesn't really do that much there.
Doesn't really do that much, but the extra point of damage in the sky may have pressured him to block with his Raven, which is kind of his one out here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that may be what they're discussing right now.
Oh, and this desert does indeed commit a crime here, so we're going to actually go to 8-4.
Wow. Matt at a very dangerous life total, despite having the objectively better board position.
I wonder if there's a case to attack with the Raven there.
But the problem is that Shepherd has vigilance, so no matter how often he attacks with that Shepherd,
right.
I know, I was just thinking that same thing. Getting for that 1 point of damage and then having maybe another crime is good for that swing, but the Shepherd just proving that vigilance in the air, quite strong.
Okay, so the Vigilante does not currently have double strike.
No crime yet, but if he has an instant speed crime in hand and he chooses not to block, he will lose here.
That could just be it, yeah.
And I did not see who he pumped. But
I believe it was the Shepherd this time.
Yeah, this time I think the Shepherd is objectively the correct play because he has to block that Vigilante.
Yeah, I think
he has
right.
the Snakeskin Veil in hand, so a potential course of action is that he can 2-for-1 himself, block with the Raven, and kill the Omen Port Vigilante, but then he would still have to top deck a solution to the Shepherd, unfortunately.
Well, assuming that Matt can't commit a crime at instant speed, it would just be a clean block on the Vigilante.
Be a clean. Oh yeah, I keep forgetting that it doesn't have double strike.
Yeah.
But it looks like he's risking it and taking it, going to 2.
That's pretty bold.
That's a very bold play. 2 is a much safer life total than 1 in this format, but it is not the position that you really want to be in, unfortunately. Oh, and Gem as another flyer.
Another Vigilant flyer, I
that
believe.
will give him some more resources here. Ooh, interesting.
Kervek is
little bad
too
here,
late
unfortunately.
It's just a 3/3 for 3.
Yeah, there's unfortunately no position where he can cast it because of the life loss.
And we're getting right into game 3 here, and Matt's starting the game at 19.
Oh,
hello.
Looks like a revealed information there.
I think we just shuffle.
Yeah, I believe
that
the judge call is that you just shuffle your deck as long as you don't know. Yeah, you can call. He's walled 1. That's why I said leave the bottom. Yeah, leave your bottom card and shuffle it out.
So yeah, we are.
Leave any cards that you know the information about on the bottom and shuffle it.
We're gonna leave the mulliganed card where it was and shuffle the rest of the deck. Easy fix, no problem.
Disqualified.
Wow. Oh man, I didn't realize that was the rule. But
Chump blockers take it. The whole thing. Yeah, the cut, leaving the card on the bottom there is very humorous. Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. So it looks like he did find space in his deck for that Terror of the Peaks, which they were debating whether or not to play.
It might have been sideboarded.
Yeah.
And it looks like Jesse has missed land drop number 2.
Oh, no. That is not good on that mull.
You know, you mold 6 and then you keep a Sketcher.
Yeah.
It's not ideal, but...
Ooh, and that
Matt
Trained
pretty
Errands
much-
is not what you want to see, though finally grabbing that second land.
That's pretty much the perfect way to punish someone who
Ooh.
misses a land drop.
Absolutely. Yeah, there is not...
You're...
I don't know how many there are in the format, but I can't think of a single 2 or 3 drop that can beat a 3/1 first striker then on the next turn, you know. So he's going to get that extra scry here. He's going to get the surveil off the dog. He's got all of the options here, and Jesse is a card behind.
Yeah, pretty much gave up the advantage of being on the play in this game.
Yeah, essentially had a 7-land hand, but played second. So I haven't looked at the data for this set as much. I feel like it's maybe less significant being on the play versus being on the draw in this format than MKM, but it is obviously a disadvantage.
I haven't run the numbers on that one myself.
Yeah. I'm thinking on MKM, you know, I was in the finals, so I made sure I knew all of the stats. There was almost like a
Can you name drop yourself? Is that a thing?
Yeah, that's right. 6 or a 7% win rate just from going first in that format. So, which a lot of people were criticizing it as a as one of the reasons why it's not as viable.
Matt is indeed reigning cats and dogs.
Yes,
Thanks for that
he
burnished
is.
heart. And of course, Vincent's judge side is coming out here.
Gameplay error,
calling
looking
out
at extra
gameplay error.
cards. Burnish Chart coming in with his ruling for us as well.
All right. Do you think Matt wants to find a plains here or a mount? Oh, how about just fail to find?
Fail to find on that. You know what?
Hate to see it.
Unfortunately, you do hate to see that. He's pretty far ahead on board, but I believe in Jesse's ability to turn this around. He's got a powerful hand for sure, but he's about to take 6 more damage and go to 11. That Frontier Seeker, he did, looks like, find a plains off the top there.
He was being optimistic there.
Oh, my gosh.
Trying to reveal a
Rough.
land off the top, but he's just going to scoop it up.
Yeah,
And
that's unfortunate, and that will go to Matt.
The chump blockers are going to go up 2-1 in round 1 here.
Yeah.
So
I was
nice
worried we were
work,
looking at
Chumps.
another 30-minute game, but that one was quite quick.